Welcome to the Fit Woman Formula podcast, where we show women just like you how to reclaim your energy, rebuild your body, and step into you 2.0. I'm Coach Jonathan, founder and head coach of the Fit Woman Formula coaching program. This show is for women who are tired of starting over and ready to finally create results that last. Not just weight loss, but real confidence, a healthier relationship with food, a stronger mindset, and a lifestyle that finally lasts. You can watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you enjoy podcasts. And if you're ready to learn more about how we can help you unlock the energy and confidence of your 20s while dropping 2+ sizes in the next 12 weeks, visit fitwomanformula.com. All right, let's get into today's episode. Today, we're going to talk about something that comes up all the time. And the question here is, do you actually need supplements to transform your body? Because this is where most women are. You're working out, you're trying to eat better, you're putting in the effort, but your body isn't really changing. It kind of sucks, right? And it's like, what the hell am I missing? Because it doesn't feel like effort is the problem, so now it must be something else. And that's usually where supplements enter the picture. Am I right? Because now it feels like there's something you don't have. There's got to be something missing. You need something extra. Someone everyone else is using that maybe you're not. And stay with me here, because in a minute, I'm going to show you what actually moves the needle, the supplements that actually matter. Now, let's talk about why this is so convincing. Everywhere you look, someone is taking something. There are before and after photos all over the place tied to some product, transformation stories tied to some product. Let's think about what we see a lot these days that are very convincing. These totally fake, and I'm going to be honest, so many of you ladies fall for this, okay? And they look pretty good. They look pretty convincing. So many totally fake AI videos of some lady talking about how she had all these problems and then it was this product that fixed it. Completely fake, not a real person. But we've got people talking about hormone support, cortisol control, metabolism boosters, fat burners, these bullshit GLP-1 alternatives. And it creates this feeling like everyone else has the missing piece and you don't. And that's frustrating because now it's not just about losing weight. It's about figuring out what you're missing. What is the missing puzzle piece to this whole thing that I can't figure out? But let's be real for a second here. This industry is built to keep you buying. This is what the supplement industry is all about. You try something, it doesn't work. Now there's something new. Different name, different angle, different promise, different label on it. And sometimes they're not even solving a real problem. They're just creating one. So now it's your hormones. Now it's cortisol. Now it's your metabolism is being damaged. And you've probably felt this before. You try something, it doesn't work. And instead of thinking this doesn't work, again, you start thinking, what's wrong with me? And that is part of the trap. Because now you're chasing answers that were never going to fix the real issue. And guess what happens? This is what the whole supplement industry relies on, or at least a big part of it. The more you struggle, the more money they make. That's how this works. They don't want you to find the solution. The money is not in the solution. They want you to keep struggling. So they keep selling you all this bullshit, ladies. This is what it is. This is exactly what it looks like. And this leads straight into something like I call shiny object syndrome. You see something new. It sounds promising. You try it. It doesn't work. So you move on. And now you're jumping from thing to thing. And meanwhile, you never stay consistent long enough to see if any of the stuff is actually going to work. To see if the habits, the stuff that really matters, is actually going to work. And this is where so many ladies get stuck for years not because they're not trying, but because they're constantly being pulled in different directions. Now, here's where this gets less exciting than a cool label or something that sounds like it's kind of a magic bullet. But the reality is it's way more important because the things that actually change your body are not sexy. It's your food. It's your protein, your workouts, your movement, your habits, your consistency. That's it. And let's be honest here. You already know this, but knowing it and doing it consistently are two very different things. And that's where most women fall off. So when you say, I've tried that before and it didn't work, We need to slow that down. We need to check that for a second. I hear a lot of ladies say, yeah, looking at my calories doesn't work. I tried that calorie deficit thing. That doesn't work. Did it not work? Or did you not stay with it long enough? Or was it inconsistent? Or was it missing some structure? Because those are very different things. And understand that, as usual, when I'm saying this to you and I'm being direct with you, because I give a shit, ladies. Because again, even if we never work together, I don't want to see you stuck here. That's what matters to me. That's what we're talking about and why I'm speaking to you right now. That's what it's all about. I don't want you to stay stuck where you are right now. This is where a lot of women have that moment, and it's the oh shit moment. Oh shit. I've been focusing on the wrong thing. I've been focusing on the wrong thing. And if that's clicking for you right now, if you're realizing that you've been trying to solve the wrong problem, and maybe it's not a knowledge problem, it's an implementation problem, that's exactly what we help women with inside the Fit Woman Formula. We simplify this. We give you a clear plan. And guess what? We actually help you follow through because that's what you need help with. So let's talk about what actually matters. When you look at the research, fat loss is driven by calorie balance. Okay, we could also call it energy balance. Okay, we've got energy coming in the form of food. We've got energy going out in the form of what your metabolism does and digesting food does and exercise does, daily movement does. Protein plays a huge role in body composition. Strength training shapes your body. You know, I was speaking with one of the ladies that just joined us the other day. We were talking about her goals, and she said, well, I know this isn't possible because of my genetics, because of what my mom looks like and my sister looks like. Let me tell you something. I know where my genetics come from, and I know where my body started out, which is very different than where it is now. Strength training totally fucks all that up. Okay? Makes a massive, massive difference. It reshapes your body completely. So you might think you have in mind, like, okay, this is what's possible. I'm telling you, you probably have no idea. Even if you're starting to get some results right now, you're just wetting your beak. You're just getting a little taste, a little sample. That's where a lot of the ladies that we're working with right now are. And I tell them that straight up. You have no idea. You have no idea what's in store for you if you just keep going. So when the protein is in place and the energy balance is in place, you have your calories dialed in, and when you've got some regular movement and strength training going on and the habits are really gelling, you've got good momentum. When all that's in place, supplements don't really make a meaningful difference. That's just the truth. They're not the thing that's going to move the needle. One of my favorite sayings, and I'll probably repeat it a lot here on this podcast, so I apologize in advance, and I probably already said it more than once. What we really focus on are the small hinges that swing big doors. And supplements can be helpful, but they really only account for, like, let's say 2 to, I'm going to say a max of like 3 or 4%. I think that's being pretty conservative, honestly. So let me paint a picture for you here. Let me paint a picture. This is extremely common. You're taking supplements, okay? Fat burners, greens, athletic greens. We're going to talk, we should have a whole episode on athletic greens and the marketing monster that this is. Because really, it's just all about all of these influencers and celebrities that have gotten paid to sell you on this stuff. Not really a great product, truthfully, when you look into it, okay? But you're taking the greens, you're taking the hormone support stuff, you're taking something for your metabolism. But your day looks like this. You wake up tired, you grab coffee, right? Skip breakfast. Lunch is rushed or inconsistent. By afternoon, you're starving. Dinner is bigger than planned. Snacking at night, right? Returning to the fridge and to the pantry multiple times. And then the next day, again, low energy, frustration. And you're thinking, what am I missing? But look at what's actually happening. Your food is inconsistent. You're not fueling your body properly. Protein is low. So guess what? Energy is low. Workouts are inconsistent. And even when you're getting the workouts in, you're not fueling your body well enough. You have this impression that eating less is a better thing. So your workouts kind of suck. You're just mailing it in. You're not hitting any PRs, any personal records. You're not lifting heavy enough to make a real difference. It's not a supplement problem. It's not a supplement problem. That's a structure problem. You're trying to fix a consistency issue with something in a bottle, and it doesn't work like that. Now, to be clear, I'm not anti-supplement at all. Protein powder helps big time, helps with convenience. It helps get the overall amount of protein up, which is what matters. Ladies, forget this stuff about the timing of all this and how much can I get in one certain. Stop. That is what we call majoring in the minors. You're getting way ahead of all this stuff. And truthfully, maybe that matters for someone that's getting into like a bodybuilding competition or someone that's doing a strength training competition. That you're getting into all this crap that doesn't even matter. You don't have the basics down. Okay? So protein powder helps. Creatine has extremely strong research behind it. Helps with strength, performance, recovery. Helps big time with brain health. Lots of studies going on specifically for women right now that are really exciting. And, I always feel justified because creatine is something that we've been recommending big time for the ladies we coach for almost a decade now. What we're seeing right now is that it can help regulate your cycle. It can help with fertility. It can help combat some of the negative effects of perimenopause and menopause. Highly recommend creatine. Very little side effects. Okay, you can take huge doses of this stuff. Very, very helpful. We primarily recommend it because of the way that it helps with energy. And again, yes, we help ladies transform their body and lose weight and lose body fat and all that good stuff. But our program is an energy program. We want you to feel good. That's what we focus on first. You focus on improving that. The weight loss and everything else is much easier. And that's why we recommend it primarily. But it's a great supplement. Highly recommend it. Okay. It's not directly burning fat, but it supports the process. And then we've got things like vitamin D and omega-3s like fish oil. Okay. Those can support overall health and kind of indirectly help with weight loss. But again, they support the process. They don't replace the process. So here's the shift. You don't need more stuff. You don't need more crap. You don't need more stuff in this bin of bottles that is probably overflowing. You need less confusion. You need more simplicity. You need more clarity. You need something you can actually follow through with. That is what creates results, not chasing the next thing, not trying to optimize everything. Consistency. I know it's boring. It's not sexy, but ladies, this is it. If you're stuck right now, stop asking what you're missing because it's not a supplement. Start asking and looking at what am I not doing consistently? That's where everything changes. Now, in the next episode, because it ties directly into this, in episode 10, we're going to talk about why consistency isn't actually your problem. Okay, it's important. But a lot of women think that's the main issue. I just need to be more consistent. But that's not the full story. And when you really understand what's going on, things start to click. And that wraps up today's episode of the Fit Woman Formula Podcast. I hope today's conversation helped you take one more step toward reclaiming your energy, rebuilding your body, and stepping into you 2.0. If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I'd really appreciate it if you left a quick rating or review. It helps more women discover the show. Ready to unlock the energy and confidence of your 20s while dropping 2+ sizes in the next 12 weeks without restrictive diets, useless supplements, or living in the gym? Visit fitwomanformula.com to learn how we've helped hundreds of women just like you. I'll see you in the next episode.